Hi guys, so today's homework that you're going to be working on is from Color Harmonies. And after you've just finished watching the Color Harmonies video from me, I need you to then open up your art set, Set4. It's the free app I had you all download. And notice how I've broken the page up into 3 individual sections. I just took a folder in my finger and drew the lines straight down so they would kind of be straight and then horizontally. So I could write the name of the color schemes across the top and the colors, and then I could mark where the pure colors, the tints, and the shades. So I want you to kind of follow this process. Pause at any point as you need to, but I'm going to work through my last little section. So you were going to be choosing colors from an analogous color scheme, and you can see that I chose 3 colors that were next door to each other, a yellow green, and a green. And I've played out some tints and shades on those colors. Then I moved on to split complementary colors, and I chose 3 colors that were split complements on our color wheel. I used the red, the blue-green, the yellow-green. But again, you can look at the color wheel and decide what colors you want to use in that scheme. All right, so here's a sort of a sample of that. I'll have this picture inside of your Show Me folder if you need to see it again. And then there are little helpful kind of suggestion reminders of what a triad is, analogous, and split complementary in the little black and white pictures on the corners, if you need to kind of flash back to that. So the last section I have to do is a triad. So I'm going to work with yellow-orange, and I count over 4 from yellow-orange. So that's yellow, yellow-green, green. Then I'm at blue-green, and then I count over 4 from there. That means blue, blue-violet, violet, red-violet, red-violet. So I've got yellow-orange, blue-green, and red-violet that I'm going to use in my last section. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to use the marker. Just use the felt tip marker to write your information down. So I'm choosing black down below. You see the left-hand corner down here are the colors. All right. The middle section here chooses your different tools. And we're going to go back and forth between the oil paint and the marker. Okay. This is the eraser down here if you need it to kind of go back on things. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my felt marker here, and I'm going to write down triad. And then I'm going to write my 3 colors that I chose for my triad. This is a tertiary triad. And a reminder, the instructions tell you not to use primary triad colors. So you can use secondary or any of the tertiary triads that you would like, just not the primaries for this. All right, so I have my yellow, orange, blue, green, and red, violet. I'm going to break this up in the middle here. So I'll have my tints going down this direction. I'll have shades. All right, I'm almost set. So now let's talk about mixing colors. So I need a yellow-orange. I'm going to come down here, and anywhere down here you can click on a color. And when you click on it, you'll see at the bottom of the palette the words colors, palette, and wheel. You can choose from wheel or you can choose from colors. I'm going to show you how to kind of mix from the colors and how to use this palette right here. So I'm going to start by colors first. Oh, we need to go back to oil paints because we're going to do this with oil paint. So I'm going to choose my tool, oil paint. All right, now back to this. Since I want a yellow-orange, I'm going to get myself something that's kind of maybe yellow-orange-ish to begin with. And then see how it's highlighted now? That little circle at the far left is highlighted with a little outline. That means that's the color that's selected. So I'm going to tap on it a second time, and this time I'm going to the palette. And notice how that yellow-orange that I chose is up here in this upper left-hand corner of the palette. I'd like it to be just maybe a little bit more orange, so I'm going to kind of click on an orange. So I'm going to scroll and find myself an orange. There's an orange. And I'm going to tap on it maybe once. Let's do it a second time. So it's kind of more of a school bus yellow-orange for me. All right. So that means this color here has just been changed. That upper left little one with a little dribble. I just mixed more orange by tapping on it 2 times, and it added or mixed the color to it. So now I'm going to tap over here and I'm going to paint with yellow-orange. So this is my pure color, right? While I already have my yellow-orange mixed, I'm going to come down here and tap on my little palette again, and I want to make it lighter, right? So I'm going to tap 2 or 3 times with the white. Look, it got lighter. All right, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to tap on my screen. All right, and I didn't lighten it very much, right? I just put a little bit of that in there, so I'm going to put it down here. And I'm going to lighten it further. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Let's add some more to it. Tap over here, and I will make it, see how it's gotten lighter. There is a difference going on there. And then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to add a 3. Let's go another one, 4. Let's go 4. And I'm going to add some more in over here. Wow, big difference. Okay, so I started to see a stair-step change. Now, I'm going to go back to looking to get myself my yellow-orange again. So I need my original. So remember, I started here, and I came back, and I found myself an orange, and if I recall correctly, I tapped on it 2 more times to get it that yellow-orange. You might want to make a note of that. If you're mixing a tertiary color, when you start with one of the colors, make note of I tapped green or I tapped orange, however many times, so you can know you can get back to that color again. Make sense? All right, so now I'm working in the shades. So this means I need to add black to this color. Well, there's some black here, so I'm going to tap black once, maybe twice. That starts to get it definitely not bright anymore. So I'm going to come down here, and this is the shade category. So I'm going to paint down the shades. Going to come back, maybe add 2 or 3 more here. Oh, it's starting to get more brown now. It has that orange in it, which is what's making it kind of go brown. All right, I'm going to come back again. Going to add 2 more. Yeah, let's go 3 more. And so I can see a definite difference going on. You want to make sure that you've got a difference between your colors. If it's not, tap it some more, or do the little back arrow that's down here in the bottom right-hand side with the little back arrows in a curve. You can always go back. You can always use your eraser tool and erase something. All right, so you kind of get the idea here. I'm going to kind of do that. So I'm going to go for blue-green now. All right, and so I'm going to start with the actual blue. I'm going to just, oh, no, I got to start over here. Sorry. I got to go into my colors, get myself a blue. I'm going to go for blue. And I'm going to try and mix myself a blue-green. So that means I need to start adding some green to this color. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe. Okay, so I've tapped about 8. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, that might be a little better. I tapped about 9 times to get myself a blue-green. All right, so I'm going to work on that guy. So I'm going to come up here, give myself my blue-green. Here's some blue-green. And again, now I'm back to, let's go and do ourselves some lightning. So again, I would make note that I kind of tapped that green color 9 times, right? After I started with plain blue in the tube. So that kind of helps me remember when I need to get back to that later for my shades, right? So now I'm going to start adding my white. I might tap it 3 times. We'll come over here, do a little change, then we'll come back, add some more, 3 or 4. Gets lighter. All right. So it's the process of trying to play with understanding how you might mix some shades and some tints. Now, in the real paint world, remember we were putting the darker color into the lighter one, but this is a little bit easier digitally here to kind of go the opposite way, but you've got to really make sure you're tapping that white to really get some differences between your shades. And again, I would start all over again with kind of coming in here to my color tubes, looking back to try and get myself my blue-green back again, right? So I tapped this 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so now I'm back to normal, but now I need to start adding a shade. So I'm going to go bump it 2 times, I guess, with a little bit of black. All right, so are you getting the feel for this a little bit? So you'll have to go to colors to pick up your tube to get started with. And then here is where you start mixing in the palette to get those colors that are different and the values that you can see. Oops, I think I went a little too far there. I might have to add a little bit more blue and green back in. All right, so that you can see how the changes are. Okay, so say I'm done with this section. I still have red if I like to do, but say you're done. here's how you're going to go save. There's an arrow down here at the very far right bottom. I'm going to click on that, and it takes you to your gallery. Now, I deleted personally all the sample images that they gave us because those eat up space on your iPad and its memory. So I just took those off of there. Notice how there's a sort of a halo or a shadow around this. This means this picture is selected, and it's selected for us to do something with it. All right, so then you have your send arrow at the very bottom between the trash can and the make a copy, the up arrow. I'm going to click on that. And look, you can click it and tell it to go to Shobi. There's a Shobi one right there. Awesome. Or if you want to, you can always send it to save to image. That's down here. Save to image with the down arrow, and it'll go into your photo roll, your camera roll, right? So you can send it directly to Shobi and put it right into this folder for this assignment. All right. So that is one of two ways you can do it. And like I said, you can save it to your camera roll. And it'll go into your photos. And looky here, I can come back to photos, and look, there it is. It's there, and then I could upsend it from here into Shobi just as well. So it can go into two different places. All right, so again, read the instructions and then follow this video, and you can stop and start anytime you need to.